What is former Penn State wrestling national champ Phil Davis doing punching a heavy bag, and kicking a heavy bag, and working on submission holds? If you haven't guessed, Davis is entering the world of mixed martial arts, and his first fight is set for Saturday at the House of Blues in Atlantic City. He debuts against an 0-1 fighter named Kevin Wall in the light heavyweight division, which has a 209.9-pound weight limit. It is considered an amateur bout. Handling Davis in MMA competition is Lionheart Management and Promotion out of State College, which was founded by another former PSU wrestler, Chad Dubin. Davis is training with, among others, former Iowa standout wrestler and current MMA professional Paul Bradley, who you may have seen on the Ultimate Fighter TV show. FightOnState.com stopped by the Lionheart facilities recently to get the lowdown on Davis's first fight. Here's Chad Dubin.
A lot of recognition and a lot of there's a buzz going around because in the world of MMA, which has been exploding as everybody knows, there's no established training camps in the state of Pennsylvania that are nationally known, that have quality facilities, quality trainers, quality coaching. And so we're excited to have established Lionheart right in the middle of the most popular wrestling area in the entire country. And with MMA being sanctioned and soon being put on shows, amateur and professional, probably December or January, I really think we're positioned to be a household name in the world of MMA in the next year or so. And I just wanted you guys to come out here, watch a little bit of the sparring, and then just open it up to some questions. You guys know Phil and Paul Bradley. They're two of the first two guys that signed with us, Lionheart Management, that are living here and will be training here full time. And Paul is a pro. Paul's 5-0 as a professional, and Phil was making his amateur debut on Saturday in Atlantic City. So that's it.
I didn't necessarily choose between wrestling and MMA. I already had it in my mind. I wanted to do MMA, and kind of after I won an NCAA title, I didn't feel like I had a lot more to prove to myself in the sport of wrestling. So it really let me cut my ties to the sport and move on to something else.
It's an amateur fight. The plan that we've talked about with the coaches and with Phil is that he's going to have an amateur fight in Atlantic City. He has another amateur fight scheduled July 19th in Winchester, Virginia. And we're right now talking to 3 or 4 fight promoters for his first professional debut in August.
Hopefully I turn out to be a leader. I've only been here a couple days now, but just with working with Phil the other day, there was a little point I picked up. He, is dropping his head when he shoots, and that's going to leave you open at knees. So I showed him like a little technique coming inside and bringing your head up instead of coming down with your head, because man, you're leaving yourself wide open to that knee. That's KO power.
They're excited. I mean, yeah, and I don't really think it has to do with sports, but just anytime you see a product of Penn State wrestling going on, and you hope they're successful in whatever they do. So I think they're really happy for me, and they're behind me. Yeah, a friend just kind of gave me that nickname as a joke, and it kind of stuck. Lady friend. Tops of all tops right now would be being a UFC champion, but I need to take baby steps before I can even get to that position. So I mean, right now I just want to train, learn as much as I possibly can, and win all my fights on the way there. I've been watching since I was pretty small. I used to be a really big fan of Hoist Gracie growing up, and probably now, presently, maybe George St. Pierre or Anderson Silva. Both pretty solid guys. Right. I mean, the unknown is always a little scary, and this is uncharted waters for me. So just getting in there, I'm going to be on edge and looking to mix it up right away to get to a position where I'm more comfortable, and from there, I plan to take control of the match from there.
I think one just thing that stood out when Phil first started training, the couple days after he won a national title, what was really neat is, Coach Thurman and I were talking, and Phil was doing some training in the wrestling room before we came over here, and he said to Phil, he's like, Phil, you're like working harder now than you did this whole year to win a national title. And Phil's probably too modest, he forgets the quote, but it's a great quote, and I say it, and this is unbelievable because it just came right out of his mouth. He said, well, Coach Thurman, losing a wrestling match is one thing, and losing at life is not an option. And I think that's, summarizes Phil's, and even Paul touched on it about, look, he's got more to prove, and this isn't just winning a national title now. This is a real life career, and that's the way we've taken this as a professional approach to developing athletes. It's not just, hey, let's see what happens and go get in a fight. It's a very serious, business of training.